Hi, friends. Welcome to Pantry to Plate here. I am Kristen, the Food Bank Dietitian, and we are here in the Kaiser Permanente Learning Kitchen at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. And we have our friends from Kind here at the food bank over the last couple of days, and they are our special guests for this final long-form video that we will film for Pantry to Plate. So something fun that is very different that we have not done before is we have a live audience here of other staff from Kind. So let me So if you hear me asking questions, I'm going to be talking to actual people in the room, okay? So this is Jen. She works at Kind, and so I would love for you to tell me what your favorite activity has been since you've been here at the food bank.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, it was yesterday when we were volunteering at Marietta.
Fantastic. So did you get to work directly with our neighbors there?
Yeah, so our whole team was spread out throughout the area, and I personally was bagging the groceries and helping to the car.
Nice.
So I was really greeting them towards the end and just sending them on the way.
Fantastic. We love to have volunteers at our community food centers across our service area, and you really get to a different volunteer experience when you are working directly in the food pantry. So thank you so much for the work you did yesterday in Marietta.
Highly recommend it.
Thank you. So to pay homage to our friends from Kind, we are going to make granola today, and we are gearing up for the holidays. So I'm going to share some ways that you can gift your granola to your friends and family if you happen to have excess oats in your pantry. So let's get started.
Awesome.
Okay, so the first one we're going to make is going to be a peanut butter granola. And the second one will be more of a classic style. So let's grab that other camera on the screen. All good. Okay, so we are going to start by mixing our dry ingredients in one bowl and our wet ingredients in the other. So we've got our ingredients here, and we're going to be working with two bowls. Fantastic. So a dry bowl and a wet bowl, and then we'll mix them together at the end. So we are working with both rolled oats and quick cooking oats today because that's just what I had in my pantry. So if you have quick cooking or rolled oats, you can use either of those or combine them to make granola. So I've got my oats, and we're going to add some chopped nuts. This can be anything that you have on hand: peanuts, sunflower seeds. I'm using some sliced almonds, walnuts work. All of them work. So we've got that there. We are going to save our dried fruit for the end. That's going to get mixed in after the granola has completely cooled down. And we're going to add some seasonings here. So we've got some cinnamon and a little bit of salt to just balance out the flavor. So you can get creative here. If you don't have cinnamon, you could use cardamom. You could use pumpkin spice seasoning, apple pie spice. If you have those combinations, all of those will work here.
Can you tell the folks watching why you put the berries in at the end?
So they'll burn if you put them in the oven. That's a great question. If you put them in the oven, they're already dehydrated, and so they're really concentrated in sugar, so the heat will just make them burn in the oven. So we just mix them in after everything has cooled down. Good to know. Great question. Okay, dry ingredients, that is it. For the wet ingredients, this one is a little bit off from traditional. It's going to use a lot less honey or liquid sugar than you would typically see in a granola. So we're going to be using a sunflower butter here as our nut butter. So anything that you have available, you can use. Classically, this is written for peanut butter. One of our Kind friends is allergic to peanuts, so we scratched that the last minute, and we're using our sunflower butter here. So this is going to be a great way for you to sort of substitute the type of fat that you use to make granola. So traditionally, it would be an oil and a liquid sugar as your base that holds everything together and makes it all toasty. But we're going to use this and then some actually unsweetened applesauce to have the wet components. So this is just a little bit of unsweetened applesauce. If you have sweetened, that is totally fine. You could leave out any extra sweeteners if you're going to use a sweetened applesauce. And we actually need our honey over there. Perfect.
You're going to show us your fun trick?
I'm going to show us the fun trick, but I didn't keep the oil out. Will you just hand me that little bowl of oil right there?
Sure.
That will work perfectly. This is for the other recipe, and we're just going to do this real quick. If you've ever measured honey or something super sticky in a measuring spoon, it takes a lot of effort to get it out. So if your recipe has oil in it, measure your oil first, so then your spoon is oiled. So I'm just going to dip it in here. So if we have like a non-stick surface to work with to measure out our honey. Thank you very much. So you can add as much as you like to your taste for honey or like a maple syrup or something like that. If you don't have a liquid sugar, use brown sugar, white sugar, whatever you've got on hand. So I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of honey here, and it comes out super fast, and it's like it's clean.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So I'm going to do 2 of these. There we go. Okay. So the second one stuck just a little bit, but that's okay. All right. So we've got our wet ingredients. Last but not least, to have some more flavor is a little bit of vanilla. I was digging through my pantry drawer to grab my ingredients, and we had almond extract, and I thought that would also be really delicious. And some granola. So whatever you have on hand fits here. So we're going to mix in our wet ingredients, and then we're going to mix our dry ingredients, and then we're going to combine them together. Have you ever made granola before?
I have not, but it's been on the list.
Yeah. Do you eat granola?
Yes. I do.
Okay. How do you like to eat it?
I usually like to eat it in my yogurt if I'm eating in the morning.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for a quick little snack, I'll just right out of the bed.
That's usually what I do. Is like if I'm like just before bed and I really want something sweet, that's what I've been grabbing is like some granola straight out of the bag. Okay, that smells so good. Do you smell that cinnamon suddenly? Okay, so now we're just going to pour our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients and give it a really good mix.
I do have to ask, do you usually like crunchy granola or soft granola?
I like crunchy granola.
Me too.
But if it's a bar, I like it to be a little bit soft.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like if it's crumbly, I want it to be crunchy. And then if it's a bar, I want it to be a little more chewy. Because like in bar form, it kind of goes everywhere if it's really crunchy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so we just need to mix this up enough so all of the dry parts have been incorporated all the way, and you will be able to see that it stops sticking to the bowl when everything is mixed into the wet components. Okay, so there is our mixture. Now we're going to mix it. We're not going to mix it. We just mixed it. We're going to put it on a parchment lined pan. This makes for really easy cleanup, and it keeps it from sticking to the pan itself. So we're just going to dump it on here. And one big difference between this style and the classic style is it seems like it's a little bit more wet than your classic. So what you need to do is have some gloves or use your big spatula and smash it down onto your baking pan to spread it out. So it needs to be a nice thin layer, and it actually gives you really great chunky granola chunks at the end. because sometimes it can be really, like just little teeny pieces of oats. And so this one gives you really good chunks. So I'm just literally gonna smash it all out into a nice thin layer. I'm gonna use my fist, that helps. Yes. Okay. So this one is going to bake at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. So halfway through the process, you're going to give it a mix. But as you're mixing, you want to sort of flip it in chunks a little bit. So you're going to break it up when you mix it, and also keep some chunks so you have some, a combination of textures in there. Okay, so 350 degree oven for 40-ish minutes. Yes, please. It's going to be in this one. Nope, that one. We have 2 ovens, and we have 2 granolas with 2 different temperatures. Yes, perfect. Okay. So, okay, audience, how did that look? Thank you. Okay. So our second granola is going to be more of a classic style. So there's not going to be any peanut butter in this one. So we will switch out this tray with that tray over there. Oh, yes, we are. And while we're switching trays, we're also going to switch our guests. So we're going to say thank you to Jen for being on camera. And we're going to invite Joanne. So another friend from Kynes. What was your favorite part of being at the food bank these past
Definitely Marietta as well.
Yeah.
Like interacting with the people that are actually living in the community was a great part of the entire experience.
All right, so you heard it, folks. 2 times Marietta is the place to volunteer, okay? So we also have community food centers in Jonesboro and Stone Mountain, so you get the same experience, just in a different part of our service area, so you have options.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this classic granola is like exactly how it sounds. It is classic style, which is, like I mentioned before, you're going to use a liquid fat and a liquid sugar to, as it bakes, it solidifies and helps everything stick together. So we are going to grab our mixing bowl here. Thank you very much. And we're gonna mix this one in the exact same way we mixed the last one, except we're just gonna use one bowl, and you'll see. So we're gonna have our dry ingredients, and we're gonna mix them all in this bowl, and we're gonna put our wet ingredients here, and you'll see why in just a moment. So let's get our wet ingredients are gonna be our oil. So we'll do oil. You can use any liquid fat that you have available to make granola. Okay, and then we're going to add our vanilla. Yum. Like I said, any other flavor that you might happen to have in terms of a baking extract would work really well here. And then the brown sugar. Thank you, ma'am. So this recipe calls for equal parts honey and brown sugar. So honey is often a pricey item. Maybe you can find it in the food pantry, but if you needed to purchase this, it's going to be one of the more pricey items. So you can cut that in half by using a different type of sugar with the honey. So the honey helps to keep everything together, but the brown sugar will help you stretch your bottom of honey. Yeah. So we're gonna add that there, and then we will need our honey here. So I have not measured this out yet, and what I'm gonna do is just do it real quick. I showed you my little hack earlier, but I'm gonna do this real quick. You can also use maple syrup or agave, any just liquid type sugars that you would want have on hand.
Wow. How much honey are we using?
So the whole recipe is a third cup. So for this, we're doing half, so it's a weird measurement.
Okay.
I'm just gonna eyeball half of this 1/3 cup here. But for the whole recipe, it is 1/3 cup, so equal parts. 1/3 cup brown sugar, 1/3 cup honey. And then all of the ingredients are going to be written out in the recipe card that will be linked at the end of the screen, so you can reference that for the specific measurements. And I'll make sure you all have it too before you leave.
Granola at home.
Do you make, or have you made granola before?
I've never made granola. I actually just started liking granola this year, actually.
Me too.
Really?
Actually, I know that it's delicious and stuff, but like it's just never been something that I've incorporated into.
Yeah, I would never go to the grocery store and buy it, but now I eat it with my yogurt. We have these soft baked square, but I'm not going to put these soft baked square bars that they're cocoa flavored, and I like to mix them in with my yogurt and some strawberries. It tastes like chocolate chip strawberries.
Yum.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious. Okay, I just threw the honey in here. Excuse me. Cinnamon. Okay, so the reason why I didn't do a bigger bowl for the dry ingredients is because we are going to add a little bit at a time to our wet ingredients. So this is just our nuts. I've got a combination of sliced almonds and walnuts. Anything you have on hand will work here. So we're just going to give it a good mix. And then we're going to fold this in. So yes, so I'm laughing because my favorite show has this fantastic scene where they're like, and you fold it in. You're like, okay, but what do you mean you fold it? You just fold it in. So anyway, I laugh at my own jokes. Okay, so but I'll show you how to fold it.
I had made cookies, and the recipe said not to fold it too much. Is there such thing as folding too much?
Yes, there is. It can make your mixture tough if you mix it too much.
Okay.
And so folding is kind of like, it's like a big scoop, and you're literally just turning it over. So big scoop, and so it's not like a fold in half, which is how it sounds, but you just do a big scoop and fold. That's that. Instead of like mix. So that's a fold. So I folded it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to just fold it some more. Big scoops.
Looks good.
Yeah. A little bit more. Actually, I'll just do the rest of it. Honestly, I don't think that you can overmix this.
Okay.
In places where it might turn out not great if you overmix it is where it might have like eggs or something in it.
Okay.
And you could make the eggs tough, and then your final product can be tough. So this one's it's not too serious if you don't fold it correctly. Because right here at the end, you have to like do some mashing and make sure that everything is mixing into the wet ingredients, just like so. Okay, okay, and then we're going to do exactly what we did on the other granola. We're going to spread it out here, except we don't have to do as much like mashing, but like we did with the peanut butter.
Is this one softer or?
It's more piecey.
Okay.
Like it kind of is more crumbly. That's a better word.
Yeah.
Crumbly. Then that one, if you left it in a single layer, you're gonna get like sheets of granola, like more like a bark. And you could totally do that if you prefer like those bigger pieces. And then for that one also, if you leave it in the bigger sheets, it's a little more chewy than crispy. So that's just, for your preference. You can do that if you want to. So I'm just spreading it out. There we go. Okay, this one bakes at a 325 degree oven, and it's going to be around the same amount of time but this one's like the 325 to not 325.
30.
We're talking about minutes. We're not talking about temperature here. 35 to 45 minutes. There we go. And this one, you do not mix it in the middle of cooking it. You're going to turn your pan. So if you put it in the oven this way, halfway through, you're just going to turn it. So the other side of the pan is like in the hottest part of the oven.
Okay.
So
Put it in
this one, we got the right oven this time. Thank you so much for both of my guests helping me on camera. We are so grateful for the time that you have spent here at the food bank over the last couple of days and the service that you've provided our neighbors in Marietta. So thank you. So applause to you all. So TV Magic, we have our final products to show you because those do spend a little bit of time in the oven. And you can see the difference between the two types of granola pretty well here. So can I get my overhead camera? Thank you very much. So this is the peanut butter granola, and you can see how it comes out in more flat chunks. And this one is a lot more crumbly. We did get some nice big chunks, and that is fantastic to get a little bit of both of those textures in your granola, however you like to eat it. So here we're gonna just add in our dried fruit. So I'm just using dried cranberries here. Any dried fruit will do. Do y'all have any favorite dried fruits that you like to eat on a regular basis? Anybody? Dates, blueberries,
Cherries.
cherries. Raisins are gonna be the most cost effective. So whatever you've got available. Maybe you have something freeze dried that you found at the food pantry, mangoes, strawberries. Any of those you can add to this cooled stage of your granola. So here's my little bit for the peanut butter one. And then we're just gonna mix it in. So it doesn't also have to only be your nuts and seeds and dried fruits. You can add things like chocolate chips in this cooled stage, or you can add coconut flakes to it before you bake. And that will add some sweetness and some different texture. If you love coconut, that would be what I would do. I'd definitely add some coconut flakes. And you can to give you a really robust coconut flavor. So you've got a lot of options to make your own granola at home. So now that we have a very large amount of granola here, so we're going to gift some granola since it is the holiday season, and what better way to show someone that we care about them than to feed them, right? I always say feeding people, cooking for people is my love language. So if you've got extra, spread the love, right? So you can use a mason jar that you purchased, or you can use a jar that you had salsa in and you cleaned it really well so it doesn't smell like salsa anymore. That's what I do. I love keeping glass jars from tomato sauce, salsa, all those things. So you can reuse those, and you can fill them with your granola and wrap them with a cute little bow and say made with love, and pass it along to your friends and family for the holidays. So let's just get some granola and fill up our little jar. What was that? Exactly. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that at all. That is a great hostess gift. If someone invites you over to their house for a holiday dinner, bring them some of your homemade granola. And then I love this little trick that I think I probably learned in kindergarten and has stuck with me my whole life. Take your ribbon, whatever you have, and you can curl it up using your scissors. So you're just gonna hold it on the side. Let's see if I do this correctly. There we go. I'm gonna go this way. And then you get a nice little curly Q ribbon. So you can tie it around your jar and have a cute little curls and put a little sticker on top, and it kind of curled. We tried. So gift granola to your friends and family over the holidays, and maybe save a little bit for yourself too. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here. We wish you and your family a wonderful holiday season, and I hope you will try to make granola if you've got some of these staples in your pantry. So you can find the recipe at the QR code here on the screen. You can open your phone camera and pretend like you're taking a picture, and a little link will pop up. You'll tap that. It'll take you straight to the recipe, or you can type that address right into your address bar on your phone or your computer. So thanks again. I thank you all too for our friends from Kinds. And we'll see you in the new year with a new video format. See you later.